And we back on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. Thank you for tuning in. All the listeners, you can hit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Out of Bounds Sports Show. If you want to tune in to the live podcast, you're on Facebook and you're not on the website, go to Out of Bounds with a Z sports.com. We're going to give you a quick update of some games we got going on tonight in the NBA because we're getting ready to talk about the NBA. Miami playing Washington right now. They just started in the first quarter. 7:55 left in the first. Detroit are playing the Indiana Pacers. Scores 8-4. Indiana's up. 8:14 left in the first quarter. 6:30 p.m. Central Time. The Los Angeles Clippers play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Los Angeles sitting at 5-8. They're having a dismal year. Cleveland Cavaliers are 8-7 and they just started winning games. LeBron James is going to figure it out. All you LeBron James fans, he's going to figure it out out there. We got Utah and Brooklyn. They're going to play at the same time. Those guys are mirrored with the same record, 6-9, 5-9. We got the New York Knicks. They're playing the Toronto Raptors. We got Chicago Bulls. They're playing the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know what's going on with either one of those franchises. The Chicago Bulls are 2-10, and they have usually they have pretty good defense and offense, but they sticking up to play this year. They play at 7 o'clock. Oklahoma City and the San Antonio Spurs.
Ooh, good one.
Now listen, man, I just gotta stop real quick to talk about that. And we're gonna tell you about the last game to round out the night. The Dallas Mavericks playing Timberwolves, Portland at the Kings. New Orleans playing Denver and Phoenix, who got beat up last night by the Houston Rockets. You know, basketball is becoming, a sport that's, I don't know, it's not tough as it used to be in the 90s, in the early 2000s and 80s, and everything has changed. Everything is about athleticism. Nobody want to play defense. 148 points was given up last night at home. A home team gave up 148 points.
In a regular season basketball.
Come on, man.
It's stats. It's all about stats.
But they mustered 116 points.
No defense.
So neither team was really playing any deep, but if it wasn't for the 48 points and 7 assists by James Harden,
It don't matter, man. Stats.
I don't know. You take away 48 points and then you win the game.
It's real.
I don't understand the philosophy of some of these basketball teams with the running gun and then we don't play defense. This is not Lynn Bias and the Loyola Marymount back in the gap. When they just ran, nobody played D, we'll see if we can outscore you. And that's the way the NBA is coming right now. And you got to take it and blame it on the Golden State Warriors. Because the Golden State Warriors is arguably the best offensive team in the last 5-6 years. All they do is score the ball.
Nobody want to play.
And they don't play no D. You got Steph who out there mixing and shooting threes off the one leg fade away. You got Klay Thompson running down the sideline. If you ever leave, you let the three go. And you got Kevin Durant. Okay. These three guys is going to cause havoc for however long they're there together. All right? So, the first thing we want to talk about is college basketball before we get to that. Because the college basketball season kicks off last week, and it's been some great marquee games. Duke and Michigan State.
Duke was a team beat.
The number one team in the nation was playing against the number 2 team in the nation, but I still don't understand how Michigan State is the number 2 team in the nation. They didn't show me nothing against Duke.
Nothing.
And then Marvin Bagley went down with a poke in the eye. And they still lost. So you mean to tell me guys that cannot shoot the three consistently can get a number 2 rank? They couldn't even get to the rack. Marvin Bagley left the game with 7 rebounds, 6 of them was offensive rebounds. And he is a freshman. Now, Michigan State got a seasoned squad. So
he a freshman. But
Okay.
he ain't really a freshman. Like, this kid is #1 pick, probably the best prospect going since, LeBron, Ben Simmons, all those. This kid is the real deal. I was at the game, personally. Yeah, Marvin Bagley, the kid is kind of like a Kevin Garnett / Chris Bosh. left hand, can do everything off the dribble, but a playmaker. Like he's 6'10", plays center, but can handle the ball, can pass, can create. Michigan State, it's all about last year. That's the reason they got the number 2 ranking. Malcolm Bridges he's from Flint, Michigan, a Flint, Michigan kid, tough, but he can't shoot. That's just what it is.
It cannot shoot.
At all. And we saw the game, man. They didn't look like the number 2 team in the country at all, but they still told Izzo. Izzo gonna have them boys ready. They got a lot of sophomores, 4 sophomores, and a freshman in the starting lineup. So they gonna do their thing right now. They gonna drop probably to out the top 10. But.
And I think honestly, with the team last night, I don't really think they should drop out of the top 10 because they did go down to the wire. Okay, they did play the number 1 team in the nation, and you almost beat them on your own floor, mainly because they lost one of their players. But listen, when you're playing basketball and you say you're playing for Duke, the next person up should just fill the spot. It shouldn't be any excuses. Oh, we lost this guy, because all you guys got scholarships. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way on the professional level. If a guy go down to professional level, then here's an opportunity for a guy that's on the bench who made it to the pros. Remember, he made it to the pros for a reason. So he should have some type of game to be able to step in and take up that spot. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the top 10 rankings for college, and we're going to get to the NBA. You're on the Out of Bounds Sports Show.
Talk about this guy right here.
Yeah, so we definitely gonna talk about the Ball family. We're gonna talk about the Ball family. So we'll be back in a moment. You listen to the Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is the Big Dog.
So you should be
running out of time.
One and done.
Get
One and
out of
done.
bounds.
Ain't nothing to lose. The night's still young and there's still so much to do. Ooh, and I never felt so cool. I never felt so cool. I'm in my Converse shoes. Ain't nothing to lose. The night's still young and there's still so much to do. Ooh, and I never felt so cool. I never felt so cool. Don't you do it. This flower's not a tulip. Something just to ease your mind, trying to seduce it. I'm the coolest to write a jam like this. Mike says the hit, none of my exes left.
Yeah, man. They do so little in the
What high school did you go from?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Where would do so?
In my Roosevelt.
And what year?
91.
So that was, but you probably had a different coach. That's like a Pale South, like they get them weight room. You know they got to do it. They take it to the next level.
Not only was I able to play at the next level, but my body was prepared to play at the next level. Not just my mind, because I had an understanding of what was going on around me, but I played in a system to where I was a man, but I understood how to get the other players to play along with me. That's what made me stand out in football and basketball. You see what I'm saying? But then they got these kids, man. Look at these dudes, man. Like, what size shorts is he wearing? He's in a 12 slim or something.
Like I said,
no muscle mass.
I live in Capel. Capel has a ninth grader right now, football. That's a ninth grader. That SMU is offering them a scholarship.
I'm in my Converse shoes, ain't nothing to lose. The night's still young and there's still so much to do. Ooh, and I never felt so cool. I never felt so cool. I'm in my Converse shoes, ain't nothing to lose. The night's still young and there's still so much to do. Ooh, and I never felt so cool. I never felt so cool. I'm in my Converse shoes, ain't nothing to lose. The night's still young and there's still so much to do.
All right, y'all, we back. Thank you for tuning in to the Out of Bounds Sports Show. This is the Big Dog, Jay Horn. We're on the second half of the show. We're on the second hour. We'll be here until 7 o'clock. We got about 30 more minutes. And we're going to talk about some of the college basketball, and we're going to round it out with the NBA basketball. But first, my special request by my main man, Michael Thompson, man, we're going to talk about the Ball family. Now, everybody knows that LaMelo Ball been in the news for a shoplifting charge that he received in China when UCLA over the weekend was out there playing in the Classic in China. So we have still not heard from LeVar Ball, who's been one of the most outspoken parents in recent history about his kids and their talent and the things they do. And I just believe, and I'm just telling you from my point of view, I think at this point LeVar Ball is being a coward because I wrote about it. And what I said was, how you think about young kids, and we're talking about 17, 18-year-old kids. So they're going to make mistakes and they're going to make bad decisions. We all know that. So we're not condemning a young kid. But it is about your upbringing. Okay, and when you claim that you have a certain upbringing, there's some things that you just don't do. And I don't think those young kids understood that being in China, in a third world country, where people are still getting their hands cut off and your eyes plucked, and all type of different punishments, that they still practice third world punishments in a country where you got to give it up for Donald Trump. Now, I'm not an advocate for by politics, and I have not agreed with our president Donald Trump on some of his views. I have not agreed with our president Donald Trump on some of his views, but what I do have to praise him for this time, he did go over and save those kids from 10 years in prison. Okay, so he had to use his power, and that is one of the reasons why America is the most powerful country in the world. But President Donald Trump went over and saved those kids, right, from getting 10 years in prison in China, and then went on Twitter and made a statement the other day and said, I wonder if the Ball family is going to give me an apology, or are they going to say thank you?
But you know something, let me chime in on that. Now check this out, man. If you did, now see, but that's his job though. If something is happening to an American somewhere, even if it's right or wrong, his job is to make sure that he take care of his fellow countrymen. That's his job. But he shouldn't have to get on Twitter and say, "What is anybody gonna tell me thank you?" Listen, man, you did your job, man, and you was just as lost as the next person. Now, I'm not here to slam you, but let me get to Daddy Ball. Daddy Ball. Now, you're a man just like everybody else. Now, I'm not talking down to you, because you put your kids on the pedestal. Now, how does it feel, man, to know that your kid does the same thing that everybody else does? Now, you got to remember that this dude said, we apologize for stealing. Now, you're not above the law, man.
And on top of that, listen,
it's crazy.
Listen, you got 3 boys, okay? I got 2, probably one on the way. And my son is a very talented young man at Colorado State, and I would never, ever, ever cross the boundaries for the coaches, the media. The spotlight is for him. It's not for you. And what you did, you made a mistake in the beginning. You jumped out there too early, and that's why they on us as people about some of the ignorance that we put out there in America for people to bite off of. You know what I'm saying? We can't get ahead because we're ignorant to the fact that you have to be personable when you're making decisions about your kids, about their livelihood, and look at the pressure. And I said this when Lonzo got drafted. Okay, I said this, and it's something I never did to my son. Now, I don't know what type of basketball career LeVar Ball has had, but I can tell you, you can look up my basketball career, and I stay way out of my son's life when he's dealing with his coaches. And he's out there at Colorado State with Coach Larry Eustace, who's going to be a Hall of Fame coach, over 500 wins. He's one of 3 coaches right now that has over 500 wins. And that was one of the reasons why I decided to let my son go there, because I understood that the coaches have to be the father. When you're playing basketball, when you're playing some type of professional sport, whether it's baseball, hockey, soccer, badminton, whatever you're doing, the coach